who'll be taking you through our how-to session about closing up for the holidays. Remember, these sessions are a great opportunity to get your questions answered and to make sure that you pop them into the chat or the comments, and Tip will do his best to answer them straight away for you. So I'll hand over to Tip.
Cool, amazing. Kia ora, everyone. I'll just get my share screen thing ready. It's the holidays. Cool. Hope you can see my screen. Cool. Victoria, can we see the slides? Are they coming up?
It's just coming up now.
Yeah.
Yep,
cool.
All good.
Cool, amazing. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining on this lovely Monday. I'm in Osatahi, Christchurch, so it's a bit different for me today. But yeah, I guess it's just kind of like a kind of rundown on how to like close up your shop for summer. Your shop can be your retail shop. It can be your services, your restaurants. You know, even if you just supply online, it's really important to, I guess, let your customers or your, you know, whoever interacts with your business know where you're at and I guess how to contact you or to not contact you essentially. That's cool. So I guess we'll just run through like why is it important to keep your hours and holiday schedule accurate? Because consumers are relying on online opening hours more and more, which means, you know, people won't really bother calling you up to see if you're open. They'll just go on Google or Facebook or wherever to find you and say, hey, and just look and see, okay, cool. You know, Tip shop's open, and then they'll just rock on over, I guess. If these hours are wrong, there was a study that said 72% of users stated it can negatively affect your perception of the business if opening hours are incorrect or confusing. So yeah, that's a big number. So but then if you think about it as a customer, I'm sure we've all been there, you know, you're really excited to go to a nice restaurant or, you know, you want to go shopping at the mall, but, you know, you think, okay, they close at 9, but then, you know, they're closed for today for some reason. And, you know, it's a bit frustrating because, you know, maybe you've driven all the way out there, or maybe, you know, you really needed like something printed or you needed something. And it's really annoying. And it you know, you can imagine your perception of the business can become very negative very quickly. And yeah, and then also, if your hours are incorrect or unclear, so, you know, say they're inconsistent or you don't have them online, people will be like, oh, like, you know, this cafe might not be open. I'll just go to this other one where you know it's open. So yeah, business can literally move to your customers. So it's important that you keep these updated. And then, yeah, and then taking it back outside of retail and like hospo, I guess it's like, if you're fulfilling orders like online or, you know, you sell a product, if you are away for a week and you aren't going to be able to get anything shipped, or maybe, you know, you're taking like a couple of days off, if someone needs it thing really soon, it's probably best they don't buy it off you at the moment, because, or if they do, that they've got the clear expectation that, hey, like our usual delivery is 2 to 3 days, but at the moment, you know, we're in break, it might be an extra 2 days, right? So it's just really important just like to keep your customers in the loop, even if it's like I say negative, but, you know, even if it's like a slower service, it's better that they're aware of it. Important to note that your customers are looking in different places for your info on your business. So yeah, you just need to make sure that you update your info on all platforms. So that's like, you know, on your Google, we'll go through all of this, on your Google, on your Facebooks, on your everything. If you just update one and not the rest, it can be confusing because, you know, you don't know what the source of truth is. And then it goes back to the confusion where like, oh, you know, do they close at 3 or do they close at 1? I'm not sure. I'll just go to the cafe, you know, down the road instead, right? So yeah, it shouldn't take too long, but, you know, just make sure you update all the platforms where you think your customers could look, because yeah, it's really important to keep that all consistent. So Google Business. So this is Google Business, or it used to be called Google My Business. it's your Google business profile. This is where people find you on Google Maps and Google Search. And this is often the first place people look for opening hours. And as you can imagine, this is probably like the first place I'd say people would find you. So it's really important to keep these updated because yeah, it's probably like the number one place, especially with people traveling around, like people are often just looking for, a cafe in like this town that they're stopping at. So yeah, it's really important. And then you can see down the bottom that Dandelion Chocolates has, there's two versions, right? So the one on the right with the orange, Christmas Eve might affect these hours. This is when they haven't updated it. So it's a bit unclear. So, Google knows when it's a public holiday or, when it's holiday season. So they put these little warnings down that say, even over New Year's, they'll be like, oh, over the New Year's period, this might be different. You can go into Google Business and edit it. So say, yes, these are my hours for real. So you can see on the left in the green, it says Christmas Eve hours. So that just creates some certainty. So if you haven't done that already, I recommend jumping in if you're still opening, I guess, for normal hours and just updating them. So you can see that you can edit your hours here. So this is just in your Google My Business settings, and then you'll see, you've got full flexibility to change everything on the right hand side. And then you can see on the very bottom right square where it says closed, you can also set days where you are closed. So these are all days that that this business is closed. So it's probably like the holiday period or something. You can also do special hours. So this is something that they've semi-recently added, but essentially, for the Christmas break, this is probably applicable to so many people. You can say, hey, from the, maybe after Boxing Day, maybe from the 27th to the 3rd of Jan, we're closed, and then there'll be a little pop-up. They'll say, hey, Tips Cafe is open, from 11 to 8 every day, except for during this period. And then it's just like a really nice, easy way to kind of update it, and then it'll automatically change back. So that's Google Business. So, okay, this is probably the most important one just because people are often searching for your business on Google first. And then also, especially when people are on holiday, they don't know what businesses are out there. So they're probably looking for, a nice bar or restaurant outside of town to have dinner at. And, it can be really, really a bad first impression if you're closed and it says you're open, So that's Google Business. The other really important one is your website. So, clearly, again, people will be looking at your menus or maybe, looking to online order a product you may have. So it's important to update this. And the best way is to have a clear banner explaining key info regarding like, any delivery time delays, opening hours, and any time you're on holiday. And you can put this on every page, or you should put this on every page, not just your homepage, because not everyone lands on your homepage. So essentially, some people might go to tipscafe.co.nz, or people might go to his menu straight away. And if they look at the menu, they might miss the big banner. So yeah, it's really easy on Wix. It's really easy on like WordPress, on Squarespace, all that. And then it's really easy if you have like an HTML website. So if you use one of those platforms, just ask for support, or if you have a web developer, that's really easy. Like it takes like 2 to 3 minutes. And yeah, so that's it. That's a website. It's pretty simple. Essentially, you just need to just make it really clear that, hey, I can't pick up, or I can't fulfill this order right now. Facebook as well. So Facebook is another key place where users maybe search for info in your business. You can see that, this is like a cafe, and then they've got cafe restaurant, and they've got, it's kind of like they've got all your contact details. So your phone, your hours, and, everything like that as well. So you can actually go and edit these hours. So I'll do these for the break as well, because, it's the same idea as Google My Business, where, some people actually just go on Facebook to look at, a business info instead of like their website in 2021. So that's, something to look into doing. Yeah, Instagram is similar to Facebook in terms of like, personally, I go on Instagram to look at opening hours instead of Google, because usually you can see how active they are and, get a good feel of it. But you can see that Dear Jane, Dear Jane Cafe in Mount Albert, Auckland, they've got their opening hours in their bio. So where it says Dear Jane Cafe, bringing good vibes to the hood of Mount Albert, their weekdays and weekends, super simple, their phone number. And then you can see that they've added a closed Christmas tree emoji between these days, which is really, really good because, a lot of people, like, just from experience, I think like younger people often just go to the Instagram page to look for opening hours and business details. So if you are like a company that does do or that kind of, you've got a lot of like Gen Zs or etc. coming in, definitely make sure you do this, but do this anyways because a lot of people do check it. And then on the bottom of the left picture, you'll see, their latest post, which is we've blown up on the right. So you can see, hey, like, these are our holiday hours. So yeah, essentially it's, there's 2 steps you want to do. You want to edit your bio and create a post. So like, it's the first thing that people see. And yeah, that's really straightforward. And then the good thing about this is like, they make it really easy. So none of these should take more than like 2 to 3 minutes each once you figure it out. Oh, and also if you make an Instagram story as well, that's also a good way to, just keep people updated. Emails. So emails, of course, is really important. So you can set automatic replies so people instantly know what your availability is. So you can do this in Outlook, you can do this in Gmail pretty easily. So, I'll just say something like, hey, like, Tips Cafe is closed between the 25th and the 2nd of January. Any urgent, like, you don't have to, it depends on your industry, right? Sometimes you do need to put an urgent number, but say, any urgent inquiries, please call me, but just, clearly state that you won't respond to the email because you won't, right? You're at the beach. So yeah, so that's your email out of office. And yeah, I guess like the main point of this is just, make sure that people know, hey, like, you're not here, I'll be back then, here's a alternative number. If it's an emergency, your coffee order will get to you next year, don't worry. Oh, and also a good point is don't forget any customer list you may have. So you have a newsletter, if you have anything like that, send them an email, just say, hey, like, by the way, like, we're closing with this break for this time. We'll be back soon, because people just like knowing what's going on, right? Especially if they're like a repeat customer. So, hey, John, your coffee, like, the coffee we make, we'll start sending on the 3rd of, Jan, like, if you have any urgent coffee inquiries, give me a call, just, it's just really good to keep your, your customers in the loop in what you're up to, right? Because I'm sure they know after this year that you deserve a holiday. So voicemail. So voicemail is also, because you don't want to waste time picking up the phone, just in case it's like, or like, or you don't really want to take lots of calls, especially if that's like your business. So, hey, like, you can set up a customer voicemail message so your customers are aware, if they have any questions when you're on holiday. So we'll just put some examples here, like, like, honestly, just make it really simple. Like, hey, you've reached it. I'm away from the 25th to the 3rd. If you need help with coffee before then, please contact, maybe send me an email and I'll, or something like that. This is especially good if you're like a service business, right? If you're like, if people call you for your service, so, and you're away. So yeah. Just don't forget, just make sure you set a reminder to change it back, because that gets confusing. Cool. And then don't forget a physical sign. So yeah, clearly, like, we've talked about all the digital, signage, but yeah, don't forget a digital sign, because that's also really important, because, if, especially like with people traveling around, like, they might walk past your shop and stuff, and in the afternoon, if you're closed in the evening, yeah. And then a bonus tip is, you can schedule your posts to keep your social media game strong. So this is really good, you know, like just to do maybe this week and then say, hey, like this is what we're doing this week actually at Digital Boost. So, you know, if we do it, you can do it too. But essentially you do like yeah, you can see like this calendar, you say, hey, like on the 17th, I'll post this. Maybe on the 24th, you post like a Merry Christmas. Maybe on New Year's Day, you post like a, you know, Happy New Year's, everyone, that kind of stuff. And then it just keeps like, you know, people who are, you know, obviously do expect less engagement because people are on holiday and are relaxing, we hope. But people who do see it will appreciate, hey, like, oh, you know, Tips Cafe is really sweet. You know, they wish me Merry Christmas. Like, that's so lovely. You know, like it's just building customer relationships, right? And it's a good way. And the good thing about scheduling it is you can do it like a week before and happily tune out. Like you don't have to check into it. But you know, you can be safe knowing that it'll post. So there's quite a few like tools on how to do it like really easily. Like this is screenshots from Hootsuite. It's a really, you know, popular one, but you can actually schedule posts on Instagram and Facebook as well. Anyways, it's probably got less features than like one of Hootsuite or something, but you know, you can still do it, and they've got a calendar there as well. So that's a really good thing to do. And yeah, and then I guess in terms of like a lot of it is, you know, I say relatively straightforward, but you know, there are some nuances as well. And like if you don't know what the best option for your business is, or you know, if you do need to stand in the line, but you know, you want to like maybe reduce your hours or something like that, like you know, get in touch with us at support@digitalboost.co.nz. You know, we're more than happy to just, you know, give you some advice or just, you know, talk it through with you, because sometimes it's hard when it's your, you know, like when you don't know what's going on everywhere else, I guess. But yeah, reach out to us for, you know, how to set up any of this. You know, if you want like some advice, or you want to say, hey, like I've done this, I posted on Instagram, like how's it look? Just give us a buzz. You know, we're more than like honestly more than happy to help with this. Any feedback about this session or anything to do with Digital Boost, feedback@digitalboost.co.nz. You can check out the upcoming Q&As on our webpage. And then, yeah, just FYI for our regulars, this is the last week of webinars before a quick break. I think 2 weeks or something. And then we come back on the 10th of January. So yeah, so you get to enjoy your Christmas, New Year's break. But if you do want to want some good learning content, we've got a whole heap of videos on our Digital Boost website and an app. Just shameless plug there. And yeah, I guess that's kind of the gist of it. It's a bit short today, but we can, you know, jump into any cues or any comments from you, Victoria.
Yeah, thanks, Tip. Yeah, great information. So we don't have so many questions, but I guess, yeah, from myself, it's sort of a small business owner so you've closed up for Christmas, and of course you need to relax, but as Tip said, there's lots on the Digital Boost site to keep you going, and especially with the new look dashboard, and there are some playlists now that you can hop into as well if you want to see what's specific for your industry. I'm not sure we have any questions in the Q&A.
Well,
we've got one. So does the Google My Business special hours need to be in date order?
what do you mean by date order? I think, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think like, so I would just explain the special hours essentially. So special hours, you can just kind of you just put it in, and I think it will just sort it by like the day. So say like, you know, you're closing the 25th, and then, or maybe say you know, you're closing the 3rd to the 7th of Jan, but then you jump in and then you say you close on the 24th. It'll just update, it'll just sort it by oldest or by upcoming, I guess, if that makes sense. But yeah, like the good thing is everything is really, like, all these tools, you know, they're very well thought out. And yeah, and I guess while we're here, like if I don't answer a question, Dean, just let me know. But while I'm here, I'll just share how to update your business hours. So this is the Digital Boost Facebook page. So, your one will look quite similar. So you can just go to, I think, where is it? I had it a second ago. Where is it? I was literally just there. Okay, let's go back. This is our technical difficulties. Where is it? I literally prepared so this wouldn't happen. Okay. Oh, here, settings. Okay, so down the left, you go to settings on the left bar. You should have this as well. When my internet computer loads up, you'll see I think it's hold that thought. I lost it. But like essentially, I mean, apparently it's too hard for me, but all of you guys will figure it out. But but essentially it's really easy. Just like it literally takes, a few seconds, and then okay, good. Cool. This is good. Okay, cool. So you can see this now. So you go from your home page on your account. You just click on about here, and then just down here, there's edit business hours. Really easy. So you can see that if you don't have business hours, say you're like an online store, you can say no hours available. If you're but open during select hours, and then you can see at the moment we're 7 to 7, and then that that kind of stuff. So you can edit all this to, I guess, match, so say you're closing early. So yeah, that's a really easy way of doing it. And it's really similar on Google as well. But yeah. And I guess I'll kind of just keep commenting on like the importance of it, really, because I think it's always really important, like as a customer, to be like, hey, like like if you're a customer looking into your business, like it's always good to like kind of look at that viewpoint. Like, if I was shopping for I'll say coffee, because I haven't had mine yet, but say you're shopping for coffee, and you're looking at like Tips Cafe, and then if it's confusing, like if you don't know when it's open, if you're unsure about anything, you're honestly like I would, you're likely to just move on to a competitor, right? Or like look for someone else. So yeah, so it's really important, like not just now, but like all the time. So if you do go on like holiday later on in the year, or you change your hours for the seasons, just make sure you update it online as well, because a lot of businesses, to be honest, still only update like maybe on their front door, but that's like worst case scenario, right? If someone like really wants to visit you, maybe they had a good experience in the past and they really want to come back. Maybe they're bringing their mum or their friend, and then they come over, but you're closed, and then that's just really disappointing. So yeah, so just I guess make sure that you keep it like up to date, and yeah, I guess I just want to highlight how important it is in this like digital world, especially as more and more people are more used to using like your Google's, your Facebook, and people know, oh hey, it's like if this business can do it, everyone else, I'm sure that every other businesses, and there's that like growing expectation from the customers, from like New Zealanders, that people are people will look into it, because I guess we're quite behind overseas, and overseas like everything's done digitally, it's like the Bible almost in terms of like what's happening.
And I mean, I would just say, small business owners, they know their customer the best, and they also know how they usually communicate with them. So if you got a weekly newsletter going out, or you do some other type of email marketing, yeah, I mean, perhaps you probably would have been telling them leading up to any holidays that you're taking about the time off, and taking that opportunity to promote special offers, I guess. So and then just every week telling them, don't forget we're closing up, or and then reminding them, we can't wait till we're back with you on, so for us it would be, we can't wait till we're back doing Q&A sessions on the 10th of January. So just those continuous reminders, I guess, as well as everything else. Okay, so we do not have any other questions, and so maybe we could run through what else we've got coming up this week. So we started the week today with how to shut up shop. Tomorrow, I'm going to be taking the Q&A through working remotely with your team. So everything from, using WhatsApp or other text messaging to make sure you can stay in touch with your team, working collaboratively, all of those wonderful productivity tools as well, so that you're ready to start the new year and that you've closed off everything and closed all those loops you wanted to do for this year. And then on Wednesday, we've got switching off for the holidays. Pip, what's that all about?
So it's just kind of like, it's been quite a long year, quite a strange year, I guess. So it's kind of just, how to mentally clock out and stuff, like if you can. I know not everyone can, but it's also, there will be like some little steps you can take, just to help feel a bit less stressed, when you're spending time with family, like next couple of weeks, or you're going on your nice holiday, your well-deserved holiday. So it's just like a breakdown on that kind of stuff and how to kind of relax. And so it's a bit different. It kind of links into this one a bit, like if you set everything up properly, you can take a break more better. But yeah, so that's on Wednesday.
Yes, it is a very important topic, Dean, and one very close to our heart. Hopefully you know that on the Digital Boost site, we actually have access to Clearhead, which is a mental well-being app that all Digital Boost users have free access to. So if you're not already signed up for that, I would definitely recommend getting onto that, and it is an excellent resource. I completely agree. Dean is obviously a big fan. Yeah, it's all about that balance, and I know so I'll be finishing up on Thursday. I'll be doing one more session with productivity tools and just getting the team set up for moving forward for 2022. But when I do that, I'm very fortunate that when I go away, I do completely unplug. So that's important to me. Everyone else has their balance, but completely unplugging is actually really important for me. So the best way I do that is spend a lot of time on the water and in the water. So I just don't take a phone with me. So, and it comes back to that, being present with the people that you're around. How about you? What are some of the tips you're going to be giving? Do you have a sneak peek?
Yeah, like essentially, I guess like all of that, and also how to set up some, some, of course, we're still Digital Boost, so still talking digital tools, but like just some like features on some apps that you already use that might help, monitor, how much you're checking your phone, on Christmas, monitor how you're, how much you're checking your phone, and everything like that, and how much I guess you're thinking about it, which I know is important, and sometimes you do have to, but it's also like, here's some tips on how to reduce it, here's like our experiences, and what we hear from like experts as well. So yeah, I think it'll be a really nice session, different, but nice, but something important. So yeah.
And then I think on Friday's session, so Christmas Eve, our gift to you is just a run through of some of the highlights of the year with the wonderful Tip, and also Lily, who's also one of our wonderful digital specialists on the small business support team. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Tip, anything to add before we wrap up the session today?
No, I think yeah, it'll be really cool this week. On Friday be good, because we'll kind of run through like the best, or like some of our favorite Q&A sessions, just so you've got those on list if you haven't seen them before, because we do we do 5 a week, so as you can imagine, we do have a lot of content. Sometimes it's sometimes you don't know which one to start with because there's so much, right? It's kind of like, it's kind of when you log into Netflix, you're like, oh, whoa, where do I go? So we'll help you out. We'll give us like, some of the ones that, personally, like I watch them very often and learn a lot from. So we'll give those in for like heaps of different topics, different industries. So yeah, so you can start you can bookmark it ready for New Year's and ready for some learning, I guess.
Fantastic. Well, I'm going to wrap up the session for today. I thank everyone across all the different platforms for being with us. Remember, always reach out to Digital Boost if you do need any help and assistance on your digital journey. And we will see you same time tomorrow, 10 o'clock, to go through some of those collaborative tools and how to work with your team remotely. See you then.